What's going on, everybody? Brandon with Jarhead Diagnostics. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today, I want to talk about a problem that I have, an addiction almost, and I feel bad for it, but tool storage and tools. I've got way too many of it. Today, though, I kind of want to discuss the biggest one would be my diag cart. It's kind of bursting at the seams. We've got a little bit too much in there. I've got other stuff that I need to put in it, and just the way that the cart is with the drawers set up, I just don't have room. So in today's video, we're going to introduce a new cart that I'm going to be bringing in, and we're going to start outfitting the cart to be set up as kind of a daily just work center, and then also it's going to be primarily a diagnostic cart, and then, like I said, the work center for the shop. So computer's going to be on it and all that fun stuff. And then if you guys stick around throughout the video, as you can see, top secret, we've got a new tool that we're going to be introducing in this video. It's going to go paired up really well with our diag cart build. So hang out with me and let me know what you think. All right, so let me kind of go over my carts and where they're at right now, and then you guys can kind of see where I'm kind of going with it. I'm going to mess up the color scheme, but that's, so be it. So this is just my daily workout of cart. It's stocked full of just all the basic tools I need for doing day-to-day repairs on the vehicles without having to run back and forth between my toolbox. And we have our diag cart, and then the one on the left over here is our keys. So I've got the key machine, tools for leashing. It's full of keys. Almost all the drawers are full of keys. The top drawer's got some just miscellaneous tools in it needed to do just key services. But that one more or less just kind of stays aside unless we're doing keys. For the diag cart, for the most part, this thing is kind of bursting at the seams. We've just got a whole lot of stuff. I got an addiction to tools, and then on top of that, just being that we manufacture tools, a lot of times I've got just tools that I've never introduced shoved in there that I've just been working on, or just tools that I've made over time, and it's starting to burst at the seams, like I said. And we've got some other stuff that we're kind of wanting to introduce, and I didn't really want to add it to the cart that I was going to be getting rid of or just giving away or giving to a family member or something. So might as well bring out the new one. Haven't even opened it yet. This is the Harbor Freight, kind of a full cabinet, roller cabinet. It's got an extremely good price point. I think I paid just under $300 for it because they had them on sale the day that I bought it. But it's going to give me a little bit bigger of a workstation on top. It's not going to be massive, but it's still going to be more. But then I have drawers going all the way down to kind of help me organize. So this might be kind of a build series. I don't really know, because it might run kind of long for me setting it up. Because on this one, we're going to be stealing the monitor off of it. We're going to be stealing the computer off of it. And it has a power bank down the bottom of it that I'd like to steal. For the most part, I already know how I want to do the computer and the monitor, which the monitor is actually inside that top secret box. But as far as the power bank goes, I don't know how I want that set on there just yet, and so I don't want to just fabric cobble and just throw stuff on it. It looks like crap. So this might kind of run into like 1, 2 videos, maybe 3, who knows, of just kind of outfitting the cart and setting it up to what I feel is going to be the best for me. Now, the best for me is not necessarily the best for you, but a lot of the accessories that we have kind of allow you to add on and move stuff around and just make it your own. So kind of hang out with me as we kind of go through it. All right, first things first, I'm going to get out of the box. Usually we have to do a little bit of assembly on Harbor Freight carts, so let you guys see a little quick montage of putting this thing together. All right, so I'm going to take a quick pause. With carts like this where they only come with 2 castering wheels, the other ones are straight, you kind of want to go ahead and figure that out in your head, which one you want to be, just so that way it's, if you're used to pushing it from one side and steering it. So figure that out before you put your casters on, just that way later on you don't have to go back and do it again. All right, first impressions, I actually kind of like the cart. It feels more sturdy or solid, I guess you could say, than the Diag cart that I had before, the 5-door. It does not feel as hefty as my workstation one, like my general repair cart. Granted, that's still US General, but the price on that one's almost double what the price of this is. So I expect that one to be a little bit better than this, but just first impressions, I really like it. One thing I do think is kind of cool is it looks like it came with some drawer labels. So we can, once we get it set up kind of where I want it, I can label it. Good part about that is, since I am a shop owner, this will be used in the shop. It won't be used just by me. It'll help out with employees, just being like, hey, if I tell them running to the cart and grab something, they can just look at it and be like, oh, it's right there, out, and let's go. Here comes the exciting part of the video. It's time to add on start adding on the accessories. So, like I told you, we're going to be taking a lot from my current Diag cart and adding it to this one. And I told you at the beginning that we have something new and want to go on this cart. So, bear with me. It's top secret. So, usually as I start working on new tools, I will post them publicly, like, hey, I'm working on this, to kind of get, gauge if it's going to be something that we need to produce or not. This is something I didn't really post. I messaged some friends and some colleagues about it, got their input. Before I open this, I'm going to pull this cart back over. So on this cart, we have a boom. Booms make just life easier whenever you're doing testing. It helps keep your leads just somewhat organized, up out of the way, easy to grab. This boom is actually from Picoscope, so it's their Pico boom. On our website, we offer the Pico boom, but then it also has our bracket that goes along with it, so that way, whenever you mount it to your cart, there's actually a place to mount it, because whenever you buy these just from Pico, there is no mounting options. So we came up with a quick mounting design. It's been on this cart for going on 2 years, have no issues. I'd say we've probably sold, over the past couple years, anywhere from 20 to 30 of these booms, all with the brackets, and we've never had any issues out of the brackets. So for the most part, it's a good boom. It does boom things. And then we have our scope with our signature scope mounted to the side of it, and a little mini PC. And then of course, I put this little wood tray in it just that way I could have a workstation. I didn't want to work down in a cart. But main thing I wanted to show you was this, the boom and the scope. So for me personally, I've ran into issues where Diag in a car, I've got my scope sitting here, the leads are out to the car. That's kind of why you have a workstation, is you can leave the stuff there and then stretch out to the car. A lot of times I felt trapped, like whenever I would go working in between the vehicle and the cart, because that's usually where you're working at the front of the car, and then you turn around, you got your cart right behind you. I would either have to step over my leads to try and get to the vehicle to do the start it, stop it, got to move somewhere to do something, and my leads were always low and right in my way of travel. I tried running them up to the boom, over, using one of our lead hooks, which is right here, using one of our lead hooks up on the hood to help try and pick it up and over. But the biggest issue I had was once you went from here up to the boom and then over, you've now shortened your lead by 3 or 4 feet. So now you're even closer to the car. So yeah, it picks it up out of the way, you're closer to your car. So, what's in the box? All right, in the box, we have, is the suspense killing you yet? Our signature scope mount. But it's different. It's got mounting plates on it. We have, what could that be? All right, I'll just go ahead and show you. Some of these have little nasties on them. This is mine. Whenever we actually produce these, none will be sent out with any dirtiness on it. And then the main thing. All right, so apparently these will withstand whenever you drop them on the ground. All right. So 3 years ago, right at 3 years ago, we came out with our scope mount, the BNC mounting plate. From the time that we did that, we had probably anywhere from 10 to 15 people reach out to us and say, hey, could we do this up on the boom? Is there a way that you can design it up on the boom? You know, we'd like to take the BNCs, put them up out of the way. And I kind of hem-hawed around it over the past few years. I just never did it. And then the other day, I was using my other cart, doing a testing, and I went to step over a lead, and I snagged up my foot and the scope. I was able to save the scope before it hit the ground. So I was like, you know what? Let's make this. This is a kit, and then in this kit right now I've got several accessories. So in the basic kit, whenever it gets ordered, it's going to come with the BNC box. So this BNC box is going to come with leads that'll reach down through the boom and hook up to your scope, so you can leave your scope on your cart, or if you want the option, these go together, and then this right here will bolt or mount onto the boom, and then your scope can use our signature scope mount, and you can slide it in and out, and then your scope can be mounted kind of low on the boom straight up to these, and then it's off your workstation. The BNC plate, as you can see, is a little bit different than our original design. We got a fourth one. So this is a grounding point. The reason I did this is mainly because if you're trying to use this with your main scope and that's all you want to do, every once in a while you'll run into an issue. In the several years that I've used my Pico, I've only had to do it once. They have their grounding point on the back of it. If you have to ground your scope to the chassis for whatever reason, it's going to come with this, and then you'll be able to attach, we'll make a little lead that you can put in the back of this, and so that way your scope will then be grounded to the chassis of the vehicle. This also allows, so you got a snap-on scope, and you want something for your scope, your snap-on scope. We can do leads that come off of here, and then they're from banana to BNC leads. You can just use short ones, but this allows you to ground your single channel with your snap-on scopes. That way you can leave your snap-on scope on here and then have it running through the box. Granted, you're going to have to switch to BNC leads for when you're using this, but you have that option. You can also use it on the ATS E-scope. So granted, if you have the 8-channel, you're only going to be able to use the first 4 on the box. Or if you have the 4-channel, same thing, you can use 4 channels. You don't have the pressure transducer plugs, so if you need to use that, then you'll have to, go straight into the scope on that. But if you're just using basic scope, you're able to use this. So there's that. And then as of right now, this lead is 60 inches. I'm trying to debate on the full length. So this is still the demo unit that we're making. This is gonna, whenever you get it, it will come just like this. It'll come pre-installed and ready to go. Then inside of here, I'll throw a photo up here in a minute. This is all serviceable. So if for whatever reason one of these gets snagged and it snaps this BNC off, then you can just replace this end, and it's actually got a connection inside of the box that you just normal BNC off on that you can swap out. If the leads are damaged, same thing. You can just go in there, you cut the one BNC connector off, you can slide the lead out, and then slide in another lead, connect up the BNC, and get it back to going. All right, these right here. So the standard scope kit is going to come with one of these, one of these. This right here is going to be your boom mount. What you'll do is you'll use this as a kind of a brace on the inside to help spread load the weight of the boom, just that way it's just not on small mounting points on the inside of the cart. Then this right here is going to bolt to the outside of the cart all the way through with the inset nuts right into the cart. And then this allows it to pivot in here. It's not latched down, so that way you can still pivot the boom back and forth. The standard one is going to come with this. These are going to be extra. It's going to come with this. This is a corner brace because whenever we sell the full kit, it will come with piping. It's going to come with all the piping that you need. It's going to be all in one kit. You just get it, you install it on your cart, and you go. You don't have to run to the store and buy anything. The corner brace, it's going to be straight in pipe, straight down. Whenever we were first designing it, I had some people say, you know, is the plastic going to be strong enough? So I'll attach some photos here. We're doing our, you know, completely scientific strength test. We used a 40-pound 40-pound rotor off of like a Ram 3500, and somebody still said, yeah, but is that enough? So then I used my 50-pound daughter, and then I also used my 95-pound daughter. Both of them were able to hang from this with no issues. Then it's going to come with amp clamp holder, so you can just snap on your amp clamps, and then it's going to come with a lead holder. And so that way you can store your leads up near the boom. So this right here is what's going to come in your standard kit. These items right here. Now, for the accessories, as of right now, we don't have a ton of accessories. We have the monitor mount. We have the add-on if you want to add on the mount for our scope mounts. So that way you can attach your scope, which is how I'm going to do it, kind of right here on the boom. So that way your scope is off of your cart and off of the workstation, but it's still down kind of low and still easily accessible. Oh, sorry, one other thing that's going to come with the main kit is these are just some zip tie brackets. Just some zip tie brackets, and all this does is just allow you to, once you put the BNC box up on the boom, you just put these in place, and then once you put them in place, you can zip tie the harness up so that way it affixed to the boom and it's not dangling down in the way. We had, like I told you, the scope mount, and then one other small accessory that we have right now is this box. Now the box is mainly geared towards, you just want to throw some back probes in there or some alligator clips, attenuators, just whatever you usually have that you just want kind of a quick grab so you're not having to fumble through a drawer. You can use this to just set on the side of the boom. It's all out in the open. You can just reach in and grab. This will be an add-on if it's something that you want. This whole system is going to come in a kit with the basic components up here. These are current accessories right here. We plan to add some other accessories just as time goes. If we have some requests for certain things, then it's like a multiple request for the same thing over and over and over again. We'll probably start adding some accessories, some different accessories. But one thing for this whole kit, oh, and it's also going to come with 2 pipes like I told you. This whole kit will also be a la carte. So let's just say, for instance, you don't want amp clamp holder and you don't want the BNC box, but you want quite a bit of lead hangers to hang from the boom. Then you can order everything a la carte, add each individual item into your shopping cart, and check out with it. So let's get to putting this thing on. I'm pretty excited to see what it's going to look like on this. I kind of rigged it up on the other cart just to verify everything was working before I made this video, and Pretty excited to see what it's going to look like, especially on this new thing. So let's get to going. There is an inset. I'm going to take a photo and I'll add it right now. Pretty much, it's probably about 2 to 3 inches back, front and back, and it's, I don't know, about 1.5 inches deep of a pocket. Really, we can mount the boom anywhere on the side over here. And on the back, it feels like it's pretty open. It looks like I got to drop down just below a bracket that's right here. Just as long as I drop below that bracket, I've got plenty of room to mount the monitor on the back. I've got plenty of room pretty much anywhere on the side, minus, like I said, a couple inches front and back to mount the boom. So I think this is going to work out pretty good. So I'm going to get to doing that. I like using ADOS equipment to figure out level to make a line. This would be a little bit easier if you got 2 hands or an additional set of hands. So I'm going to use some tape and just do a double-sided sticky on it. I'm going to place the mounting bracket on here where I want it. And then I'm going to take a center punch out my holes, pull this off, drill my holes, and then I'm going to set the mounting plates in there, bolt everything together. Whenever you do your holes here, since there is kind of a mounting plate that you're going to use as a backing plate on the inside, maybe drill your holes just a little bit bigger than the mounting bolts that come with it, just so that way whenever you put it all together, you've got some flexibility to make sure that it is level, just so that way, I mean, 2 degrees here on the little plate you might not be able to see, but once this thing gets, 4 feet up in the air, you're going to be able to see that lean one way or the other a little bit more. So give yourself a little bit of space, that way you can adjust it properly to fit you. By the way, these are the Matco stepper bits. 100% worth the money. 100%. What's that old saying? Measure twice, cut once. Prime example of why I got a cheap cart. There is the mounting bracket inside of here, like I told you, that's factory. And I'm about 1/2 inch too close to it, because it won't allow for the mounting bracket to fit in there. So now I got to slide it over. And if this was a snap-on box, I'd not be a happy camper. But how much I have to slide it over, I just looked. Just as long as that covers it, I'll be fine with it. So I'm going to slide it over kind of as far as I can with it still being covered. And then hopefully I don't have to do it again. Now, when it comes to mounting hardware, use hand tools. Don't over tighten them with an impact gun. The quality's good, but it still is a plastic material, not metal, so you can damage it if you use too many ooga-doogas. Alright, so I finally got the bracket bolted on. I will admit it's probably going to be easier with 2 people doing it in this type of drawer configuration because of the slides. So just give me a second and I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. Come on with me. Alright, so inside of here, you've got the bracket. It's behind the slides. So I was trying to wiggle my fingers in each one. That's kind of was giving me a fit, was just doing that. But as you can see, it's bolted on. You're about to hear a beep. This is from my laser level. The toolbox is not level, so I had to kind of level the laser with the box. As you can see, it's level. All right, so if you order the kit, or even if you order a la carte, we can still get everything set up for you. You're gonna get 2 pipes. You're gonna get the vertical and the horizontal. Each pipe is gonna come with end caps, and they're a pretty tight fit, so like let's just say for instance you order it and you say, I don't want the end caps, that way I can shrink in the tube length if I need to. They're kind of a hammer and fit. The reason I did that is since this is plastic and this is metal, whenever you cut it down, it is a thin piece of metal. Over time in here, it would actually probably wear a hole where the pipe is just rotating on it. But now that I've got the plastic pressed in to the ends of it, whenever you put it in, this kind of acts as a bushing or bearing, and it'll allow smooth movement on the bracket and cause a whole lot less wear. So once you set it in there, you're able to pivot it however you need. Just for, like I told you a second ago, now you can still pivot it. Usually I'm going to say this is easier to do it on the ground, as far as trying to center everything up and make sure it's all good. But since I got the camera, instead of trying to fumble around with a whole bunch on the ground, I'm going to at least assemble the L bracket in the air, just so that way you can kind of see it as it's being put together. So inside of the L bracket, whenever you get it, if it's not assembled, this is 3 separate pieces. This is just a center brace that we add in there for support. There is a pipe that's going to go in longer, and there's a pipe that's going to go in shorter. The longer pipe is for the horizontal. So slap this in, so, like so. From here, you want to bolt it on. Whenever you tighten everything down, like I said earlier, you want to go by hand and tighten it down, so that way you're not over tightening it. You zip these on with an impact gun, they can break, because I mean, it is plastic. All right, once you get this in and you bolt on the corner piece, the pipe will not flex or spin side to side because it is kind of a press on. So once you clamp it on, it's actually got a clamping force. So now the only pivoting is down here on the bottom where that plastic is. All right, so once you start putting all these on, it's kind of easiest if you just back these out to where they're just about to release. You can slide them on. So the way I'm going to do mine is I'm going to do the lead holder over and then the box, but I'm going to put my zip tie holder on first. Now, when you cut zip ties, you always want to try and leave a 1/4 inch out and at a sharp angle, so anytime somebody goes to touch it, it automatically cuts them. If you order the boom kit, that's how it's going to come in the basic kit. Right now I'm going to kind of throw some accessories on. I'm going to put my scope mount on there just because I want my scope to just sit down here on this, so that way it's off my work surface. I don't have to worry about it being up here in my way whenever I'm working. I'm going to throw those on real quick, and then I'm also going to throw on my little box that I made just for like throwing back probes in and that sort of stuff. There you go. I've got the scope mounted onto it. I've got it where I can still got full range of motion with it. And understand, I'm going to have some comments. Brandon, you got a BNC Plus. Why are you using this? BNC Plus is backwards compatible, so you can use just normal BNC leads. Like if you have a WPS, you're already using a standard BNC lead. So I did it this way. The only time that I personally am going to need the BNC Plus is whenever I'm using the BNC Plus amp clamps. So yes, in that instance, I will have to disconnect one of these and put in the BNC Plus. That's no big deal. For me, personally, this is fine. It's going to help me out a lot, especially with these being above my head. Whenever I'm probed into a car and I use my lead hook, I can now kind of push the cart back a little bit away from the car so I have room to work. My leads are up high and I'm not tripping over them as much. Pretty excited to start using this. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to mount the monitor to the back of this. On this cart, and whenever you go to build your cart, one thing that you got to kind of think, in the future, are you going to need to make any changes? So for me right now, the monitor that I have on my other cart, eventually I'd like to go to a larger monitor. One thing I'm going to run into with using a boom on this cart is if I run a larger monitor, I'm either A, going to have to take the boom and put it in the back to center the monitor, but I still won't be able to have full range of motion with the monitor if I need to be on one side or the other. For me, I'm going to off-center my monitor to the side. Luckily, it'll pivot though, so that way it'll still be kind of like a center line where I can still stand in the middle of the cart and work and view the monitor. but it'll be off-centered, so that way later on whenever I decide to do the larger monitor, I've got room before it interferes with the boom as far as full motion goes. Whenever you look at it and the monitor's off-centered, that's probably why it is what it is. It's the monitor mount all done up now. Next step is going to be to set the monitor on here. The cool thing about the way that this system is going to be is whenever we send you the pipe, if it's too long, meaning too high for where you want your monitor, then you can either A, take this mount, drop it down some to shrinken it, or you can just cut the pipe to whatever height you need, put the end stop in it, and set your monitor on at the height that you want. But that's what we're going to do right now. I'm going to show you installing the stoppers. Like I said, these are going to be kind of a press fit. If the pipe's never been cut at all, then it's kind of a tight fit, but not like super snug. But once you cut it, it's got that burr in it. I've even tried using the deburring tool to get it, but I don't want to deburr it that much. The reason is you want this to be as tight as possible, so that way the pipe doesn't spin on this and wear this out faster. So you want to hit it in place. If for whatever reason, let's say you cut it or you set these in there and you press them in like I'm about to, now with a true press, we're just going to kind of hammer them in place. You're probably never going to get it back out without damaging it. Figure out where you want it before you install them. If not, you'll have to order some more of these to put back in there. To cut them, just get you a simple pipe cutter. They cut fine like that. If you don't have a pipe cutter and you go to buy one, get one that's kind of got a built-in deburring tool. 2-for-1 deal. All right, as you can notice, I set it in there. I just set the mount on there to kind of give me a rough estimate of where my monitor is going to be. I strongly suggest you doing that before putting the end cap in, just in case, like for me, the monitor was probably going to be about 6 inches too tall, which is, you know, when you're looking at a monitor, 6 inches can be quite a bit in your neck. So that's what she said. But I wanted to adjust it before I put my end cap in. Then when you're doing the hammering, make sure you have a soft face hammer. Don't use a metal one. Metal one will bust the plastic. All right, everybody, as you guys can see, new shirt, who dis. The video kind of ran a little long last night, and I ended up just going home, and I kind of finished up this evening. So as you can kind of tell in the photo, the other monitor is still in that car, and I now have something else on this one. I'll post a photo right now. Whenever I swapped them from one to the other, and that monitor just looked really tiny on this cart. And as much as people like to tell you differently, sometimes size does matter. So we switched to a 32-inch monitor from the 24 that's on that one. As you can see, I've already put the Alta Ultra on it. That's going to be the main scan tool that's going to be on this cart. And then here's some other items that I need to get added into the cart. But this video has already ran pretty long, so that's going to have to be another video. If you guys want, comment down below if you want me to do another video of finishing setting up this cart. If you do, then I'll add it in there. Let me know what you guys think. I can definitely tell myself that I'm really going to enjoy this cart a lot more. I can tell that the functionality on this one, just going to be better for us here. I can tell just with the additional work surface that I didn't have over there. And then Harbor Freight doesn't make a side tray for it. So I might modify a side tray like the one that's on that one to put on the side of here, just that way I can have a side tray that folds up and down if we need it for work. But I think I'm going to be able to outfit this a whole lot better, and it's just going to all around be a little bit better of a cart. Plus now I've got the larger monitor, just making it easier to see from a distance, especially like when you're in a car and it's outside the vehicle. Let me know what you guys think for the boom. It'll be on the website shortly, but it won't be available until after Vision. That's going to be kind of our thing. We want that to be like the main first time anybody can get it would be at Vision, which is in Kansas City on the first weekend of March. So if you're going to Vision, you want a boom, we should have a few in stock once we're there to just, you know, let people see it. And then we plan on taking this cart there as well. So thank you guys. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. If you guys want the second video of me getting that stuff actually on the cart, let me know. Brandon with Jarhead Diagnostics. Thank you guys. Always remember, did you diag today, bro?